today. I said 30 minutes, but it may be like an hour, to be honest. Are
Yeah,
you
that's
good?
fine. I've got nothing but time.
Okay,
I gotta
perfect,
say.
perfect. Well, thanks for
Perfect.
joining. This is
Yes, of
like
course. And
did you see the last live?
no, I actually didn't. I saw your TikToks. I saw your
Oh, okay.
TikToks and I was like, hold on, this looks like something I'd be interested in. For sure.
Wow. Well, that's so good. That's so good. You know, fun fact, you're like I've met and talked with a lot of people who are
Yeah.
into astrology and spirituality, but I have yet to meet another fire moon.
Oh,
So
really?
I am
Okay, yep.
very
Here I am.
excited
Yeah.
for that to match that fire in me because I always feel like I'm a little bit not too much, but I am like that. I mean, you have
Yeah.
all three fire. I mean, so you should
Yeah, I was
know.
gonna say, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do one more thing, and then we'll
Silence.
all be ready to get going. Hmm. All right. Hi, everyone. If anyone's joining in, welcome to episode 3, I believe now. It's of Spiritual Convos, where
Mhm.
I talk all things spirituality, astrology. Sometimes I'm by myself, but most times I'm with beautiful women. Like, is it Kiah? How do you pronounce it?
Yes, it's Kaya.
Okay, with like
Kaya.
Kaya. And
Yes.
we kind of like dive into like their journey, but also talk about their big three and all of that. And sometimes we sprinkle in if we have enough time to kind of talk about the current energy
Yeah.
astrologically and all that. So, how is your knowledge with astrology?
Okay, so I know a little bit about, like, I know my big three, obviously. Then I know, like, my Venus and my Mercury. Overall, though, I don't know in depth of my whole chart. I've looked at it and I've read certain things, but
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about other planets besides the big three and then Venus and Mercury.
Oh, okay,
But
perfect. Well, I love that. I
yeah.
love that, people come in if they don't have certain knowledge. And sometimes you may know more about something than I do. Like, because
Yeah.
we're gonna dive into your like spirituality. Would you say
Yeah.
that you've been on that journey for a while, or is it newer for you?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I feel like the past 4 to 5 years I've been heavily on my journey and it's kind of become part of my identity in a sense now.
Oh, I love that. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm excited to dive in. I'm just doing the last little bit of see, should have done this before, but to be honest, I low
You're
key
fine.
almost forgot about our session only because
Really?
I've
Yeah.
scheduled a lot of stuff back to back to back and I didn't even mean to. And
Yeah.
I just
It just
finished a
gets
reading
overwhelming.
actually. So it
Oh,
was like,
really? Okay.
yeah, which was
Wait, so
great.
you're into tarot as well? Tarot and
Yeah,
stuff?
well,
Okay,
I
same.
started off with Oracle, and that's what I
Okay.
would do and then just intuitive that I've grown that muscle. So now I feel like I'm a vessel now. So now I can, I started
Exactly.
off using it with myself, and now I feel like I can use it with others. But I would use tarot card. I mean, not tarot, Oracle. I wasn't introduced to tarot first, so I just stuck with Oracle. But I just
Okay.
recently got a tarot deck, and I'm
That's
obsessed.
exciting. Yeah. That's super
Yes.
exciting. I feel like mine's flipped. I started with tarot and then now I'm like leaning into Oracle. I only have
Yeah,
one Oracle deck, but
I feel like that's how it normally goes.
yeah.
But yeah, so
No, that's cool. Very cool.
yeah, so we'll dive into that. Sorry, guys. I know this is a delay still. I'm over here talking. I don't even know if someone's in yet. We're still growing, so
That's fair.
we're just still a little baby pod, a little baby
Yeah, no,
pod
you're fine.
podcast. Are you on social media heavily or?
Yeah, so I actually am. I was gonna ask you before we started. I actually have my own YouTube channel where I make
Oh,
similar kind of spirituality content.
oh, perfect.
Yeah, if I can plug
Okay.
myself.
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
it's
You
gonna
can do
be
that now.
it's gonna be Kiah Simone and it's spelled Kiah and then Simone. And then on Instagram it's Simone but with two S's. But yeah,
Okay,
that is my
perfect.
YouTube and my Instagram.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, well, everybody make sure you go follow.
Yes.
And then we can also get started really soon. I'm like doing, can you see the
No,
live
you're
right
fine.
now?
I think, let me see. There's like a little thing in my corner that says YouTube live.
Oh,
It just shows me that we are live, but I can't see us live.
okay. Okay, no problem. That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I think we're good. Aries Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising. Okay, cool. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So I like to start off with kind of just hearing your story for you to
Yeah.
introduce yourself, where you're from, and how did you get into spirituality and astrology?
Yeah. Okay. So again, my name's Kiah, and I'm originally from Ohio, Columbus specifically, but I would say my spiritual journey started, like I said, about 4 or 5 years ago. And for me, it was almost like I think that obviously we're all very spiritual here. My ancestors were pushing me to make decisions that were more in alignment with my higher self. But at the time, I had just been kind of in a low point. I didn't have much self-love. I didn't have much self-worth, just from the way that I was raised. And it reflected and manifested into my relationships later in my life. And a lot of those relationships were really negative. They took from me essentially. And so my journey kind of began when I was able to finally be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to walk away from this. I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to step into the unknown and we're going to see, what happens. I had no idea. And that's kind of how I got down the healing journey is it started with me growing my self-love and growing my self-worth. And then the ancestors are like, all right, we got her now. Let's just keep going. So that's kind of how it started.
Ah, and then as far as
Yeah.
astrology, what was that? Have you always been into that or what?
Yeah, so I would say when I first got into spirituality, the astrology side of it was more like I just wanted to know everybody's signs. Like I was that person who I would learn your sign and then I would remember it forever. And so yeah, I was always asking people signs. Then I slowly, gradually got into like your moon and then your rising. And then I don't know, I'm sure you've heard of the app called Time Passages,
I
potentially.
have. Yeah, I
Time,
don't use
yeah. So
it, but I've heard of it. Yes.
yeah, I got that app so that I could see like a more in-depth of my chart. And then that's pretty much it. Astrology is always something that I've wanted to learn more about. But in terms of my knowledge right now, I kind of just know my chart and vaguely know what the different planets mean. But yeah.
So I do have to ask you, just as a little extra, not to get turn signs against each other, because all the signs are beautiful
Oh
and
my
unique.
gosh. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
Sorry. There we go.
Do you have a favorite sign?
A favorite sign? I'm gonna be honest, maybe I'm biased because I'm all fire, but I love fire signs.
Ah,
I like fire, so I would say Leos for sure.
uh-huh.
Always love a Leo.
Uh-huh.
In honesty, I can't. Sometimes me and Virgos, we don't get along.
Uh-huh.
It's a hit or miss. I've gotten really close with certain Virgos, and the other Virgos, I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna work. But I would definitely say
Oh,
Leos, my favorite sign.
Leos. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well that would make sense for you. It's also
yeah, I
interesting
always,
though, because like, have you had any connection or ties to any Aquariuses or people with Aquarius placements? Because that's in your seventh house of
yeah.
relationship.
I'm trying to think. No, not really. In all
Okay.
honesty, I don't think
Okay.
so. No.
And perhaps maybe
Uh,
see again, it's like you have to know their placements because somebody may have had like a Aquarius moon or Venus or something like that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would say I do love air signs though. Not gonna lie. It's fire and air are my favorite.
Okay,
But
cool.
sometimes with all the fire that's in my chart, I need some balancing out.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's true. We're gonna dive into your chart really soon.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess as far as your like spiritual journey goes,
Mhm.
I guess I want to know more of like what was that like? Have you always been intuitive? Where did you get these like signs or these signals or this like
Yeah.
guidance to like dive into this? And then
Yeah.
also, where did you learn from? Because there's a lot of people who either learn from social media or learn or were self-taught or had a guide. So what was that like?
Yeah, so for me, I definitely learned through myself. I think that I learned through the ability to start to alchemize negative emotions into positive emotions, essentially. I feel like, I'm sorry, what was the question you asked right before that? I
Oh
apologize.
no, you're okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I was just saying like how if you have you because you mentioned something about feeling called or something about your ancestors.
Oh,
So like
yes.
did what were certain signs or what certain things you noticed that felt, made
Yeah.
you
So for me, it was always, I think that I've always been super intuitive. I just didn't know it at the time. It was more so my intuitive skills were used for survival in the environment that I grew up in. And
Mhm.
so when I made that decision, I think my intuitive skills started to switch more towards moving towards love. that makes sense. I think
Mm,
that, and then I also, for me, the number, I actually have it tattooed, 1010. For
mm,
me, the number 1010 was the first angel number that actually really like kind of caught my eye. Like, people would always post like the 1111s or 444, which is no problem, but like it was more of like a Snapchat thing, like post it and
mhm,
make a wish. So I saw those, but then when I started seeing 1010, I was like, like it kind of confused me. I was like, 1010 is what is this? And
mhm,
so it was small little synchronicities that started getting me going. Like I would get little feathers whenever I was thinking about certain things or certain
mhm,
angel numbers would show up for me. And so I was like,
mhm,
okay, moving in the right direction. And
mhm,
mainly the main one though was like my guidance from within. My heart has been my strongest guider in my
mhm,
spiritual journey so far. So
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I feel like I find that it's hard to in the beginning to know like what is your intuition and what is like fear based. So I guess also like how was it just natural for you to kind of lead with your heart, or did you have what helped you get comfortable with following?
Yeah, I think that for me, just because my early life experience was so negative in terms of how I saw myself, and because, of course, what we believe about ourselves is what gets reflected into our
Mhm.
reality. So I didn't have any guidance for any sort of like positive feelings in my life, really. Like all of
Mm,
my friends from high school had to leave them behind. Like I just faced so much betrayal, so much heartbreak that the only positive thing that I could move forward was by choosing myself. It was almost as if I was left with no other option but to choose myself. And that small, tiny feeling made me feel a little bit better. Because my freshman year of college actually, it was a really dark time for me because I was coming out of a lot of those friendships and I was by myself and I was just in a really low vibration and I was in a low energy. And the only thing that brought me, like even it was very small. It was the smallest little lightness in my soul was meditating. And so I'm like,
mm,
okay, I guess we're gonna keep going in with meditating. And eventually it just started, the ball kept rolling and rolling. And so yeah, for me it was mainly, I guess what helped me choose the difference between my intuition and fear was that all I ever knew was fear. My
yeah.
world was just fear. So the only option I was faced with was choosing myself and that's kind of what led me towards it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And
Yeah.
then finally going back to like how you started to lean into it. So you did the meditation. And then as far as
Yes.
you self-teaching yourself, you were reading books, where you were on social media, like what did self-teaching
Yeah.
look like to you?
For me, it was journaling and going
Okay.
to nature. There were, of course,
Um,
things on social media that I would see, but the main thing that kind of kept me going down the path and allowed me to heal more was the more I connected with myself. It started very small, like I said, the very small meditation, the more I just became more spiritual and became more loving. Like I journal so much. I've got like 4 or 5 journals. I journal like I finish one every year. And it was almost like a calling in a sense. It really was. Like my soul was truly meant to wake up and it was truly meant to alchemize the pain that I had experienced because it just was not, it was not, it was supposed to be a lesson.
yeah.
And as soon as I realized that I had the option to walk away from negativity and I wasn't forced to be there, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to
Yeah.
keep trusting this feeling.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I resonate with that a lot too. I think
Yeah.
that is the true definition of being spiritually in tune. Is
Yeah.
this is all you need is yourself, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
And a lot of people, oh, I'm sorry.
no, you're okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, when they hear spirituality, they kind of think of it as like, oh, the crystals and this and that. But like true spirituality is going within yourself. It's
Yeah,
the introspection. Because the
it's
more you go within, the freer you become outside. And a
yeah,
lot of, that's what I had learned in my
yeah.
journey.
So true, so true. But
Yeah.
that's harder than buying some
Yeah,
crystals because where's the accountability going to those crystals rather than
exactly.
yourself when you really are the one that
Exactly.
have to go through that work. Spirituality is not all fluff and butterflies. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's a great
It's a path.
reward at the end, but it is
Exactly.
work.
But yes, it's very hard getting there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
what else was I gonna say? And then the other thing is oh, so I meant to ask as far as like what are you currently doing now as far as work, and are you where you is that in alignment to your values? Since we're talking, this is well, I
Yeah,
think Gemini season is coming up, is if not
is
already
it?
here.
Yeah, yeah, it is, right.
But reflecting back on this tour on the Taurus season, and there's still a lot of Taurus placements. We have Jupiter still in Taurus, which is about to end, and
Yeah.
Jupiter and Venus. So kind of focusing on your values, would you say that your life right now is aligned to your values, or are you trying to get there, or like how is that as far as your work and then where are you trying to get to?
Yeah. So currently I am a student. I'm studying organizational leadership.
Mm.
In all honesty, no. And I'm also I'm serving. I'm a waitress right now on the side.
Oh.
But in all honesty, no. I'm not necessarily in my physical world that I want to be in currently. I am feeling as if I don't necessarily know. I think that a lot of the time my spirit team puts me on hold because I like I said, with how my journey began and me leaving all negativity and going straight into like, moving into love, I've like I have this energy of like, and maybe it's my fire signs, but I'm always like trying to go very impatient, always trying to move forward. But I feel like in my physical world right now, I don't necessarily feel like I'm in alignment with because organizational leadership is like the HR route of business. And it's not something that I feel in my soul that I really want to be doing. It's more of a security thing because society's like, this is what you need to do. And then my mother's also like, this is what you need to do. So I definitely would love to be a spiritual like creator, some sort of guide. I haven't fully visualized it yet and figured out exactly what I want it to look like, but I have started some things like my YouTube channel. But yeah, in terms of career, I don't feel that I'm exactly where I want to be, but I think in some way I'm where I need to be.
Mm.
But that's usually just how divine timing works. But
Yes, that's
yeah,
for sure. That is for sure.
exactly.
Wow. Well, before we
Yeah,
get look at your chart, I kind of want to talk a little bit about your YouTube channel just to kind of
yeah.
see like when did you start and what is your intention for the channel?
Yeah, so I actually started, so I had a YouTube channel in high school, but it was more like lifestyle content, like room decorations and stuff like that. And then recently I started back up, I want to say 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. And my intention with that is to share the wisdom that I've gained on my journey. I think that, of course, the ultimate goal down here on earth, at least for my soul, is to learn love so that I can spread love and teach
Yes.
love and show people that it's possible for you to overcome these boundaries and overcome these barriers that a lot of people don't know actually exist in their mind. And so my intention with my channel is to truly spread love and to connect people with themselves. I think so many people are so disconnected with themselves. And I make a few videos on TikTok too, and I always talk about how the greatest gift you can have is yourself. But people don't realize that because we come down here, we're raised by people who maybe don't believe in themselves, who don't feel like they deserve love, and they pass it on. And so, yeah, my intention is ultimately to help people overcome those cycles, get out of those cycles, and understand that you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
Anything is possible because love is the only thing that is real, in my opinion.
I when I think of love, I think of Leo for sure. And that and
Yeah,
shining that love because I think
exactly.
Leos love themselves a lot as they
Mhm.
should, but that's
Yeah,
but at the same time they didn't come out the womb like that. They had to
exactly.
either so maybe some, but some
Yeah,
had to learn to love themselves and also love
yeah.
receiving love and
Uh,
and love that be okay with knowing that you like that attention and you need and because it's kind of like the domino effect, like Leos are the sun, they exude this light
yeah,
to people and
exactly.
they're meant to shine so they can shine to other everybody else and make them shine, and find that love.
Exactly, yes. And there's a heavy emphasis. I like that you said, and some have to learn the love because
Hmm.
I do believe a lot of Leos are meant to shine, but they don't know that because they don't
Yeah.
allow themselves to shine because maybe they don't believe that are deserving of it.
Yes.
And yeah, this is like the end point of a huge cycle for me and understanding that I am allowed to shine and
Mhm.
I'm allowed to be out in this world. But yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to be pulling up your chart right now, but I need I guess while I'm doing that, was there anything that you wanted to like focus on specifically or like did you have any questions or or are you going with the flow?
Yeah, a little going with the flow. I am interested in my North Node and my Chiron, I think is how you pronounce it. I
Okay.
know that, yeah, specifically those, but I'm loving to, that's why I gave you my chart because I'm like, I want to learn about more about my whole chart.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Okay, so once again, because I just finished the reading, I didn't get to input your stuff and stuff before. So,
I'm
which I
sorry.
need
Yeah, I
to
should have sent it
work
sooner.
on. No, you're fine. No, I should have had enough time to put it. But I guess just to let me know, like, what's your information again, birth date?
Yeah, I'm born April 11th, 2003 at, and then just let me know.
Oh, wait, hold on. 2000 and what? April 11th.
2003.
Oh, no. Oh, no, your birth date?
Yes, yeah, sorry. That's my birthday. April 11th, 2003.
Oh, 2003. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
like blanking out. I thought you
No,
said
you're fine.
23 and I was like, huh? Okay.
Right, hold on.
April 11th, 2003. Maybe also I'm an old person. This is the mindset of an old person. So I'm like, I'm used to 1990s, 90.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm 1996. So I'm
Okay,
like,
yeah, I was gonna ask.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
what was your
Oh my
sign? I
gosh.
didn't even ask. What are your big three? I think I
Oh,
saw it.
I'm Pisces Rising, Aquarius Sun, and Aries Moon.
Okay, okay. See a little fire there too. Aquarius, Pisces.
Yes.
Okay.
What's your time? Time of birth?
2:09 p.m.
2:09
I decided these look
p.m.
better.
And then place of birth.
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Okay, okay, cool. And do you use how do I see it? Like modern or traditional astrology as far as like whole signs, or do you know
Yeah,
anything?
see, I don't I'm assuming I just use modern because I
Okay,
didn't
okay.
know, yeah.
Okay, no problem. So I'm gonna
But I'd
show
be interested
you.
in learning, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes it may change your chart slightly.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'll show you. We'll see. We'll
I'll
see.
show
Hold
you.
on. Let me
There you
share
go.
the screen with you. Okay.
Okay.
So is
Okay.
anything different on here?
No, think so. It seems accurate. Yeah, I have no Virgo at all.
Okay,
Maybe
cool.
that's why I don't get along with Virgos.
Uh, we'll get into
Maybe.
why. We'll get into
Okay.
perhaps why.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so first I like to kind of start off with like just looking at base paying attention to the big three. That's what
Yeah.
we really like as far as this whole spiritual convos focuses on, because we will be here all day if we were diving into like everything. And then I
Yeah.
do offer, I have to get comfortable with like talking about my offerings. Like if you ever anybody that's watching or you want to go dive deeper into certain parts of your life or wanted to go dive deep into, certain things or had questions, then I do offer readings, and you can find that on healthygirlhealing.com. But yes, but we will briefly look at your nodes and your Chiron as well.
And I just want to say, side note, your website is so nice. I
Oh,
think your
thank
website looks
you.
so nice. Yes.
Really? Oh, thank
Yes.
you.
Like this is so professional, so
Oh,
clean.
oh, thank you.
Yes.
That makes me feel so good because I literally did
Yeah.
that like by myself. And
Really? Yeah, girl, you did a good
yeah,
job.
and I did it like in like 2 days span, and I was
Really?
yeah, it was tough. I was like not eating and I was just really just focused in. So I'm
Yeah.
glad it looks
No,
that
it
makes me
does.
feel
Super nice. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. So now
Right.
go check it out. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Okay, so I like to start off with like how we're already talking about your Leo rising. Whenever I see Leo rising, I identify
Yeah.
Leo, well, the ruler of, because every sign has a planet ruler. Okay, so I don't
Okay.
know if you know that,
Yeah.
but that's
I
yeah.
know that I think the only one that I know is Aries is Mars,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
okay. Yep.
Okay. I think that's the only one.
Yep. So the
Yeah.
planet ruler of Leo is the sun. So
Oh, I love the sun.
you literally charge people, including yourself. That's why
And
it's like,
it's
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's actually crazy that you say that because I've had so many people tell me that like I'm like they say like I'm a sun. They'll be like, you're like the sunlight, or my sister said your voice is like the sun. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God. It's like the best compliment I get. I love it.
Yeah, no, really
Darn.
though, you
That's
exude like
crazy.
even me seeing you, you seem like you're shining, like you have this light, maybe
Oh,
this aura, maybe this energy
thank
of like
you.
just bright. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
yeah, so that is that's very Leo. You
Yeah.
literally bring the sun and the shine with you, and you often attract
I do.
people with that energy. And it is that
Yeah,
love, as well. But you also
exactly.
like
Like
to beam in it. You're like, yes, give me the compliment. But sometimes,
no,
like you
literally.
said, depending on their confidence levels, it
Hmm.
may be uncomfortable to receive that, or they may not be open to receiving that. But really, you need that.
Hmm.
It's like that.
Yeah,
hmm,
I
it's
do.
like that push and pull, or like that, you get charged by people by being in that light,
Yeah,
your energy, and then they get the recipient of it because they get that
yeah.
light and they get that kind of thing. So yeah.
No, quite literally, yeah. And it's taken me a while to get to that point, but I'm here now because of my self-worth. But yeah, now that my self-worth is good, I love myself. I know, I value myself. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thrive in the
I
light. Yeah.
love that for you, really. And then
Thank you.
also, I mean, talking about Leos, it's not like it's perfect the way you did it. You put the
Yeah.
work in on yourself. You didn't go
Yes.
outward to look for the love. Unfortunately,
Oh
and
yeah.
I mean, you were in survival mode as a child
Yeah.
and all that stuff like that, and through that, unfortunate situation, you were
Right.
able to give yourself and pour into yourself, which is a part of your
Exactly.
journey. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I see my past as like lessons, essentially.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. It's all my
yeah,
lessons.
exactly, exactly. So Leos they do need that love. They are the sign of love as far as like exuding love and radiating it, but the key is putting that into yourself first. So that's really
Yeah.
good. And then, accepting all your shine and all that. So
Fair. I
so
like
yeah.
that.
So for me, the rising sign is like how you appear. So when people see
Okay.
you, it's that sunshine. But
Yeah.
then also, Leo is, I mean, the rising is also like, imagine if you were in a car and all your placements were in the back seat. Who is steering that car? Who is directing you? The path is your purpose. Who
Yeah.
who is driving you to like that purpose in your life and getting you to where you need to be? And that's your rising. It's
Yeah.
steering that. So,
Okay.
and then also it's also the lens. It's like how you view the world. So imagine if you wore a pair of sunglasses and it was filtered through the lens of a Leo kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I kind of view, and that's how I've learned. Um,
No, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Very, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then we kind of look at, so is this Leo rising steering you to? Where are you going to be shining this light in most of your life? Or maybe you should direct this sunshine in because it's more of a like a direction. And we
Yeah.
look at what is, once again, we said the ruler of Leo is the sun. So we look at where is the sun in your chart, and that is in the ninth house.
Okay.
So the ninth house has to do with higher learning. It could be teaching. It could be
Yeah.
travel. It could be astrology, philosophy.
Really? Yeah.
So that kind of thing. So it shows that in some way, you shine the most in life when you are learning and educating yourself. This is like you always
Yeah.
like want to learn and get
Yeah.
information. It
Definitely.
also is like exploring as well, like new experiences, be around new people, different
See,
cultures, that
yeah.
kind of thing. That's where you kind
So
of
accurate.
recharge your
Yeah.
creative.
100%. And I feel like in my life, if I don't, like if I go a long period of time with the same routines and the same, like it may not even be stagnancy, but there's just no newness to life. Life gets really, I just like gets really sad, essentially. But
That's a
yeah,
good way of putting it. The
yeah,
sadness, because the sun is your life force too. So if you're not
yeah,
charging your life force, your battery, say if we had a battery, you are gonna experience this like not death, but it is like your life force is
yeah,
dying out.
yeah.
So
It's almost like a numb feeling. Like it's kind
yes.
of what it feels like. It's like, I want to
Mhm.
feel something.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. Feeling alive is another good
yeah.
way of putting of connecting to your sun energy. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yes. So,
Learning so much.
the other area you can look at to see where you get your shine and how you can recharge and get your creative, and it also helps you with your confidence. Say
Yeah.
people experience a lack of confidence, that means that they are probably not identifying or staying true to who they are, and their
Mhm.
your true self is your
Yeah.
Leo part of you, you know. But
Yeah.
if you're like looking at others and wanting to be like others, you're not pouring in or recharging that part of yourself. So then, of course, you're
Exactly.
going to have low self esteem because you're looking at, I want to be a Virgo, I want to be a Aquarius, I want this. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
love, know who you are
Exactly.
and own that, you know, and express those parts of you, you know, to really, recharge back.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I think it's cool that you're like mentioning both sides of it, like the good aspects of it, and then when you don't actually address, yourself, because I experienced both. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
to say in like the first half of my life, because I feel like I went through like, a major cycle in the beginning and now I'm in a completely different cycle. And that first half of my life, I wasn't focused on myself. I wasn't pouring into myself. I was looking outside of myself for like, oh, I want to be this or I could be this or, and of course, like my confidence was so low.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
low, and not anymore.
yeah. Love that.
Yes.
Love that. And then the other house that I found, the other technique, and it's more of a like astrology thing as far as where you can see where you also have that sunshine, or you shine well in that area, is
Yeah.
looking at what house rules Leo as well. So
Okay.
so then that is because Leo represents the sun. So what
Yeah.
house, what other house? And that's your first house, which is
Oh,
so special for you. I mean,
yeah.
because you said your journey, first house has to do with self identity, self
Yeah.
appearance, and your body.
Mm.
So you do well and you shine the most, you recharge when you're taking care of yourself, your
Yeah.
body. When you
No,
are
literally.
where even
Yeah.
self appearance, when you're wearing the things that make you feel good, when you are working
Yes.
out or doing whatever with your body, whatever makes you feel good as far as taking care of your body, self
Yeah.
care, whatever, putting lotion,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that
It's the
is.
smallest things. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The small things. And then you are staying true to yourself. Like self identity may seem like a really big thing. You really
Yeah.
want to know who you are and want to live that too, you know?
Exactly. And I agree 100%, especially in my fashion and in my clothes. If I feel like I'm just wearing, like, if I feel like I haven't worn something in a while that's been expressive of who I am or shows who I am, I just feel off. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is just not, it's not me. And I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
not in the really alignment. I'm like, I feel like taking a lot of time to actually not like look perfect, but to show up as like, as how can I say it? Like as authentic as I can
Mm-hmm.
really like makes me feel good. And again, when I don't, life is not, it doesn't feel right. It truly doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a lesson that I had to learn. It was a little cycle of mine that I had to realize that my recharge came from me taking care of myself. And I didn't have to
Mm-mm.
always not take care of myself and then burn out and then do this whole resting period when the whole time I could just be doing little acts of self-care. And so that's what I
Yes.
try and do with like small things, like doing my hair into an act of self-love or doing my nails as an act of self-love. For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
That I love that because that leads us over to your moon, which is all about self-care, and that's in your
Oh,
first house
really?
as well. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so your moon is yeah. Also, okay. So yeah, your moon is in Leo as well, which is so
Okay.
special because I feel like, oh sorry. Wait, hold on. No, that
Is it?
doesn't lead us into your moon. Well, we can. We forgot we skipped over your sun. We could let's
Okay. Yeah.
actually
Okay.
talk about the sun as far as the Aries part of your sun.
Yeah.
Which confused me because you're a Leo rising, which is sun, and then we're looking at, so let's
Yeah.
back. We talked about your rising.
Okay.
We talked about, the importance of that. So your
Yeah.
sun is you're an Aries sun.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. So going back to like your direction in life as far as for bringing that sunshine to your
Yeah.
ninth house and everything like that, and bringing that to your first house, but your sun sign is in Aries as well. So it's
Yeah.
like, so on top of like you loving to wait, hold on. Now I'm starting to get okay. Sorry.
You're
On
fine. You're
top
fine.
of you loving or you exuding this fire, this energy, this sunlight, this love,
Yeah.
you also have this like passion as well, this fire, this extra fire, like as far as
Yeah.
the feeling, the need to express, or maybe it's
Yes.
easy for you to express yourself, and you have like there's a passion behind that also. It's kind of like Aries is like the starters of things. They're the ones
Yeah.
that can get things going. That's easy. That's the leader leading things in life as well. And that's in
Yeah.
your ninth house, as we talked about as well. So it's once again, I don't know if you have identified with leading within
Yeah.
like in your life, or
Yeah.
teaching or learning, like is there
100%.
any of
Yeah.
that have to.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in some ways I'm meant to lead certain people, or meant to lead certain people to love with my goal and like what I want to do in terms of like my passions and things. But yeah, 100%. I feel like especially my spirit team, they're like, yeah, you're gonna be a leader. And it just took a while for me to get to the point to believe that I could be that leader that's within me.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And then also getting over having the courage, because with Aries,
Mm.
they are naturally like we say, I guess, the evolved Aries, or the Aries that's been like working on themselves, is
Yeah.
the most
They both.
fearless, it's the most courageous, it's the
Yeah,
most like that kind of going after and okay with whatever comes. You not but
exactly.
but I find that Aries start off actually very fearful,
Yeah.
very scared.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
all honesty, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and that
I
also
think
stems from background stuff too, like childhood and growing up and not feeling safe, or just a bunch of things. Go ahead.
exactly. I think the ambition might be one of like the underlying drives, in my
Yeah.
opinion, for
Hmm.
my sun sign in Aries is like
That's
that
true.
ambition is like I can do this, so I'm
Yes.
going to.
Yes. And
That
believing
kind
in
of energy.
yourself, and yeah, going after that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And not letting like your fears hold you back. And yeah, believing in yourself. Yes, having the courage to
Yeah.
believe in yourself. But then also the other parts of Aries, it can be impulsive.
Oh,
It
yes.
can be impatient.
Yes.
It can have like the
Heavily.
Aries is like the child in like the child
Yeah.
of
The
the,
first
so it's like
sign.
that like, oh, if it doesn't get his way, it catches a fit. It can be a
No, I agree.
little bit self-focused, as
Yeah,
far as like
for
that me
sure.
first type of energy. Um
Exactly. Yeah.
so
No, no,
that's
I feel it.
the
I'm like, we gotta find a balance.
there you
Yeah,
go. Yes, yes,
definitely.
exactly.
And
So
that
so
impatience is something I'm still working on. Me impatience. Like I just got to get in line. Like I don't know. I don't know why. I feel like it's just in my nature. Like ever since I was young. Like even
yeah.
when I was like 6 years old, I'm like, no, I want it now. And they're like, we're gonna get in like a few minutes. Calm down.
Yes, yes. And then
So
also
impatient.
like Aries is good at starting things, but Aries can burn out quickly. Like when we're thinking about
Mm,
Taurus, and I know this because once again, my moon is in Aries, and it's kind of like
yeah.
I've experienced a lot of things where I'm like excited. I get in if
Yep.
an idea comes to me, oh, I'm on it. I got it. Oh,
Exactly.
this
I'm
is gonna
running with
work. This is gonna do. And then I get disappointed when the things are not happening as quickly as I wanted to. Then I start
Exactly.
overthinking it, and then I get bored. Another thing about Aries is you could get bored
Exactly.
quick from
Yeah.
things, but you're not.
Hmm.
But then nothing seems to be getting accomplished because you're starting things and then leaving them, not finishing them because you get bored or you're
Exactly.
impatient and all that
And then
stuff.
you start doubting. And it's like
Yes.
now you're bringing doubt
Oh,
into the mix when it's like,
that
you've lost
fear.
this.
Yep.
Yep. The
Mhm.
fear starts to show up. It's like, just give it some time.
Yeah.
But I feel that as as soon as an idea pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, this is this, and I'm gonna make it into this, and it's gonna grow
Yes.
into this. It's like, let's calm down sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is definitely for sure. And then how are you with because ninth house has to do with travel too. So
Yeah.
do you travel often? Do you want to travel? How's travel?
Yes, I want to travel so much. Like you were saying, literally everything point that you talked about, like I want to see cultures, I want to see how different people are living in different areas of the world. I've left the country twice, but I've only been to the Caribbean. So
Okay.
I want to travel. There's like a need in my soul. Like right now, I'm like, I want to move. I want to go
Hmm.
somewhere new. I think even like of course I want to find somewhere eventually that I'm going to settle down in life, but I think there's always going to be that need in my soul to want to go places. Like I want to see redwoods, I want to go to Europe, I've always wanted to go to Australia. I don't know why. Everyone always says something crazy about Australia. I want to go to Australia. But yeah, travel's big.
Wow,
But
that's
definitely
so
want to travel.
interesting because the girl that I just gave a reading to, she's from
Yeah.
Australia. Well, I believe. Well,
Really?
I think. Well, I think she's from. Yeah, she's from Australia. I believe that's. But she was in
Yeah.
Bali when I gave her the. Yeah, so that's
I
funny.
see.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, your life sounds great right now,
Right.
but
Also, right. How'd she get to Bali?
but yeah. So you will do well with that because it's your ninth house. You
Mm,
are meant to. You're not meant to have a normal like or not want to say
yeah,
normal,
yeah.
but like you could get bored easily or like
Yeah.
you need
I
to
do.
have new experiences all the time and be
Yeah,
around people and explore because that is how
exactly.
you recharge yourself that
Yeah,
as far as the confidence as far I mean not the confidence but yeah the creativity
yeah.
that's how you get these like through people experiences learning but.
Exactly. I think in my day to day, I think that manifests because right now I'm not able to travel as much as I want to, but in my day to day, it manifests in like I get excited to meet new people. Like when I
Mhm,
start a new job, I like talking to the people. I like knowing everybody's name. I want to get to know
mhm,
people. Other people are more like standoffish, but like I definitely am someone who I'm like, I love meeting new people. It's so exciting to me. It's
mhm.
so exciting.
Okay, well, I can go on and on about like literally I could dedicate a whole day talking about
Right.
all the stuff for each houses, but we'll move
Yeah.
on. I think that's
Yeah,
good, and I'm glad.
of
Thank you
course.
for your validation or your
Yes,
insights too, because
yes.
that's helpful too. I mean, I hope that someone will have the same placements or similar and can learn from your experiences and identify with what you shared. So now we're gonna
Exactly.
go to the moon, to your moon, which kind of is the
Uh,
same thing, to be honest, about how we talked about that Leo part of you. But it's
yeah.
also, it's important because it's like the self-care and you
Mm,
and we talking about how Leo is exudes love. It's
yeah.
very like what you said just brought like express that moon part of you is
Mhm.
loving yourself
Yeah.
like taking that shine that you put out and exude or that you may
Yeah.
want you doing that back into yourself and that's doing
Exactly.
caring for your body that's caring for your appearance doing things that make you feel like you are
Exactly.
exuding that Leo part of you so that's really good.
Exactly. And that self-love, that has really been foundational for me.
Yes.
Like that is huge. Like that is the foundation that had been being laid with the cycles that I had been through in like before, essentially. The
Mhm.
old life. I like to say my old life because I was a different person.
Oh,
I really
I
was.
love that. I love
I really
that.
like to say that.
For sure.
Yeah.
We are not our past. That's for
At
sure.
all. At all.
And then with it being also in it's a how do I describe it? In your first house, that also
Yeah.
shows anybody with the moon on their first house. I don't know if you identify with like your emotions, you wear your emotions on your sleeve. Like you're not
Oh,
able to
yeah.
hide your emotions. Probably
Yeah.
if you're not feeling well, it show on your face or something.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, and then
For
also
sure.
there's another quality of like an intuitive sense, being able to like sense people's emotions as well
Oh
easily.
yeah, yeah. I would say that I am like deeply, deeply intuitive, deeply empathetic. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. I think that was something that was, I like to call it a gift that was given to me so that in, like my old life I could survive and now it has turned into something that I can use to help people. And
Yes,
yeah,
I
that
love
empathy.
that. I love that.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
wow, that's so special.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
okay, so let's get into because what time is it right now? 45. So we have like 15 minutes. I have to keep track
Yeah.
of the time because I will be
Right, we could talk for hours.
yeah, I will be somewhere else. It'll be Wednesday, actually. But so then let's get into your north node and your south node. So your north
Okay.
node is in Gemini. So
Yeah.
special. So
Okay.
special.
See, I don't know
Because
much. I don't know much about my North Node.
and I say it's special because we're going Jupiter, the sign of expansion, the sign of learning, of joy, of abundance, of luck,
Yeah.
is going into Gemini actually
Okay.
in the next couple of days, if it's not a day or so. So
Okay.
Gemini, so what I don't are you familiar with transiting signs?
Sometimes, not necessarily, no. I
Okay.
know I'd heard a few things around that, like Jupiter was in something called like a Kazimi or
Yes.
Kazizmi. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce it. But I didn't know what that meant. I was like, okay, working
Ah.
with new exciting energy. That's what I assume.
Yes. So essentially, to go over this really quick, essentially, like we have our birth charts. Birth
Yeah.
charts are like a snapshot of the sky the moment we were born.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So that's what we kind of, this is our core personality, but the planets are always moving. So
Yeah.
the planets moving affect us on a collective,
Yeah. I agree.
collectively.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
I
why
like
it's
it like that.
important to kind of keep an eye on like where I like to focus on the sun and the moon like a everyday like self-care type of thing. Because the sun,
Okay.
whatever sign the sun is in, it's going to like highlight in different area of our lives. So say for instance,
Okay.
let me double check actually. Let's see if we're still in Taurus or if the sun has changed to
Yeah.
because
See, and
today
that's why
literally, go ahead.
yeah, that's why I really love that you're doing this because I'm learning so much from this. I feel like because I would mainly focus on just the moon. Like I would use the moon and its cycles just for releasing, but
Mm.
using the sun in my day-to-day life for sure. It's something that I would, would want
Yeah.
to do.
Oh, so well, that's wait. So you use like the moon cycles, or also the moon, the sign that the moon is in,
I wanted the moon phases
or the
essentially.
phases? Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, sorry,
cool.
yeah. More so the
Ooh, that's
phases.
wow. That's special. That's something I want to actually start doing. I only pay attention to the signs, but I definitely want to start. I mean,
Okay.
I focus on like the full moon and the new moon, but I don't focus
Yeah,
on like there's
exactly.
anything in
Yeah.
between that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
all phases have like meanings and stuff. But anyways, the sun is
Really?
in Gemini, so that's
Okay.
special because that. Well, let me go to actually. So this shows you where the outer parts of it shows you currently where the planets are and where it is
Okay.
in your chart. So
Yeah.
the sun right now is in Gemini,
Yeah.
which is in your 10th house. The
Okay. And then
sun
my
stays
North Node is in my 10th house too. Is that
yes, exactly.
okay?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna kind of tie those two together. So
Yeah.
the sun stays into a sign for a month. So the sun
Mhm.
will be in your 10th house of career, of public life,
Oh,
or
perfect.
the which is so let me tell you how cool this is
Yeah.
because it's so interesting how the moment that we do this live and you're
Yeah.
presenting yourself out there and this is a
I
very public setting
yeah.
is like the first day that the sun and this also I mean we're talking about kind of career stuff and this could be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
start
The
of something.
YouTubes. Yeah,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah, so
My
that's
God.
kind of thing but it whenever so the pretty much the point is for while the sun is in Gemini
Yeah.
you will need to pay attention to
Mhm.
your career life or your public
See?
life.
And that's kind of what I've been like trying to focus on right now. Getting a better schedule with like posting every like week, getting really sitting down and like honing in the content that I want to make and putting out the best like wisdom that I can put out, you know?
Yes.
That is like a focus right now for me. So yeah.
Yes. Yes,
We're
exactly.
heavily, it's so crazy how we're so ruled by the planets. We're so ruled by energy, the collective of people, here on Earth. It's so like when you're not tapped, I don't know, it's kind of sad to not be tapped into it. It's understandable, but like that's why I wanted to do this because I wanted to gain more knowledge because the more that you know, I feel like the more you can apply and the more way like I just like to learn about things. And I
Yeah.
love how tapped into the energies, we all
Yeah.
are
And
as a
also while
collective.
you're saying that, sorry,
No, you're fine.
I'm very much a person that sometimes I'll be seeing stuff
Yeah.
and be a little off and I will admit my wrong. So
Yeah.
actually, I had to look at this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I get confused with so actually Gemini rules your 11th house. Sorry.
Okay. No,
Okay.
you're fine.
But 10th house is still important for you because you just went through a whole cycle actually. And you're still going through stuff where it
Mhm.
has where you're gonna need to focus a lot on your 10th house. It also shows that
Okay.
probably in the past year, your
Yeah.
career or your views on career has changed because
Yeah.
Jupiter has been
Heavily.
around that. But anyway,
Yeah.
so actually the sun is moving into your 11th house, which is still very focused on your social media. Actually, if it's
Yeah.
more accurate as far as social media
Yeah.
because 11th house has to do with your community, your friends, groups, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So that just makes me really excited for you because that just
Yeah.
shows that the sun of and it's in Gemini, so that means
Yeah.
socializing, communicating, and
Right. Putting
like that
myself
kind
out
of
there.
yeah. So
Yeah.
just keep an eye on that as Gemini is in the sun, and then just try to focus. So you doing like you said, focusing on your social media, growing that, this would be a great time to put that energy because the current
Yes.
energy is in support of you. Like, yes, focus on this.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
also know you have Saturn in your 11th house too. So that kind of
Okay.
shows me that you've Saturn is the sign of like you go through things, tough lessons in life that also
Yeah.
that strengthens you
100%.
as
Yeah,
well. So there
definitely.
may have that shows me that there have may have been some like hard lessons that you had to learn involving your communities, your groups, your friends,
Yeah.
which we talked
Very,
about.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. We mentioned, yeah, I had to leave all of my high school friends. Yeah, everyone had to get cut off. Like truly. Truly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So also, this is a cool thing about kind of looking before something happens as far as like, so once again, we said that sun right here is going to be
Yeah.
moving every day. It's going to get, and then at the end of the month, it's going to be here. And then the next month, it's going to blah, blah, blah. So
Okay, yeah.
it's going to end up meeting this.
Okay.
So kind of, so this is where, if you had a session with me, I would kind of be like, on this date, I'll give you kind of like dates and kind of like pay attention to how
Yeah.
you feel what comes up because the sun, which illuminates things, it shines a light on things, is going to shine a light on that Saturn, that like something may come around that as far as like that serious or that something around
Yeah. Yeah.
lessons around community is going to,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
That
there's
would
not
make
a
sense. Yeah.
big thing or a scary thing or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
but it's just more so like
Bring
interest.
awareness to
Yeah,
it.
bring awareness. And if you encounter some challenge within your journey, as far as just you can understand why. But anyways, the point is that's
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
diving too deep into that. But
Yeah. No,
okay,
thank you.
so yeah, so I kind of just wanted to show you that. And then what was I saying? So oh yeah, so back to the nodes. So yeah, your nodes, it's special that your node is in Gemini because also I feel excited for you. It seems like
Yeah. Yay.
I mean your north node is like your soul's purpose. You're
Yeah.
here. What are you here in this lifetime to achieve? And
Yeah.
with it being in a Gemini, that just shows me like you are meant to socialize, be
Yeah.
with people,
Quite literally, yeah.
be communicating, voicing,
No.
like communicating. It's like being a student of life. That's what I think of Gemini as.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you being
I
me
like
and
that.
you just bouncing ideas and sharing what you've learned with the community. And then
Yeah.
you're also
Which is
busy
so
though.
crazy.
You're
Yeah.
moving out, you're talking, you're exploring, all that kind of stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
you getting into that.
Yeah, and that's what I feel. Like that's truly what I feel in my heart is I'm supposed to be communicating. I'm supposed to be talking to people, learning their stories, sharing my wisdom, gaining perspectives. That's like that is my driving force. That's like the little
Yes.
flame I like to say in my heart that's always stays lit. Like all
Yes.
the pain that I've been through is never going out.
No, no, you know what's
Never.
also special is like you're supposed to be so this is it's in your 11th house actually. Well, it looks like it's
Yeah.
in your 10th house, but it's like 0, so it's like right at the this line.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
there that means that you're supposed to be getting into, which is also really interesting though, because
Yeah.
let me see, hold on. Okay, so yeah, it's saying that you need to move into a community. So once again, I
Oh,
see this as like, yeah, you're meant to fulfill your soul's purpose within
yeah.
a group in a community. And that whenever I think of 11th house, I truly think of like social media, especially with nowadays. Now
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
age, maybe back in the days they didn't have social media, so it was like
Yeah.
probably being out. And of course it can mean like you creating communities in like
Right. Right.
offline, but this
Yeah.
shows me that there is something as far as like a community, and it could be on social media and with your YouTube
Yeah.
channel
And
that's
that's
like,
that's kind of what I'm trying to like build in a little way. In a way,
yes,
that's what I'm
e-
building.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
So
think that the only thing that shows up for me with that is just a little bit of fear, I guess, in a sense where
mm,
sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to say. Like, what if you just don't know? Like, I have things that I want to share, but I feel as if I don't know what to say. Like, I'm always like, I want to post, but I don't have anything to say. That's what
mm.
shows up for me and kind of getting in the way of that feeling.
So that makes
No.
me think of that this right here, this Saturn.
Yeah.
Saturn, because Saturn is like restrictions too. It could be a
Yeah.
way of you like restricting yourself or having to overcome something that's challenging for you. And with it
Okay.
being in Gemini, it could be like maybe either you restrict that part of you that wants to communicate or that social part of you a lot,
Hmm.
or there is
And you
some
know what?
hurdle overcoming that, and it could be like
Yeah.
tied to past events or whatever
Yep.
as
I was
well.
gonna say, yeah, because I feel that makes a lot of sense. That probably got to do some shadow work. Gotta start doing some shadow work. That would make sense because I think in the household that I grew up in, I was not able to speak. Whenever I did speak about how I felt or what I experienced, it didn't matter. So there was like this
Ah,
sense of like, and that's how it was a lot of with my old friend group or with that old community I had. It was like
mhm.
I never, even if something was making me so angry or so uncomfortable, I just couldn't say anything. I would just go silent. Like I would rather just be silent. But like I'm moving out of that, but I think there might still be some residue or like, leftover kind of mindset still from that. That might be something that I
Mm.
need to move through. For sure. Now that you've said that, I'm like, that would make sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then if we look at your south node, which is the thing
Yeah.
that it's your past life if you're looking at it in a spiritual way, but it's also the thing that we're most comfortable with always retreating back to because it's
Okay.
easy, it's safe, it's comfortable,
Yeah.
but really it's limiting. So you
Yeah. Always.
talking about Sagittarius, it is like you do like to learn and you like to explore, but it's
Yeah, I
also
really do.
Sag can be like it's more of like instead of being this teacher or learning so like learning on your own, being this what would you call it, this lone explorer, you need to
Yeah.
do that, but now is in this lifetime because you've
Yeah.
explored, you've it did all that probably in past life, or maybe it was
Yeah.
more independent and
Hmm.
you didn't have a community to share that with. So now it's like, okay, now share your lessons. Just kind of what we were talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah,
literally.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's making a
Like
lot,
you putting
especially
that
with,
work into yourself and
yeah.
now expressing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, my
No,
bad.
you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, no, truly, that's how it really feels, especially with that giant. I keep talking about these two different stages in my life because I just recently in the last months, like with the solar eclipse, like was fully pushed into this new cycle. I
Yep.
feel like that is a big part of it. Like truly, it was a big part because in my old life I wasn't able to share. I didn't have good community. I had no community. So like my transitional period in my journey was by myself, completely and totally by myself. And now I'm reapproaching it with the lessons that I've learned. It's now like, okay, it's good to have community. It's good. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
So that's so true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very cool.
Wow, that's so nice. I
Yeah.
love how we were just talking about that, and it's like a full that just shows you that you're on the right path right there. That's
Exactly. I'm like,
really.
ugh.
And then with the
Yes.
eclipse in Aries, that was very like relevant for you because that was in your sign, you know?
Yes, it was.
So yeah, yeah,
Huge cycle.
exactly. So so
But
yeah,
yeah.
and then you said Chiron.
Yeah. I don't know what does that mean? Is that a planet within itself? Or, I don't.
Yeah, so Chiron is
Okay.
more so like the wounded healer. So
Oh, okay.
whatever that your wound is, that's like
Yeah.
a deep wound within you,
Yeah.
instead like you using the lessons from that wound to heal other people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So
think my Chiron it has a lot of power over or I guess it just shows up in my world very heavily then. Because that
mm,
has been kind of my experience up until this point, is
mhm.
taking the pain that I was given, turning it into love, applying it for myself, and then now sharing it with others. Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
think
that's
that's
so
really, yeah.
true. Yeah, that's so true. So you're familiar with your Chiron, with it being in the sixth house?
Not directly. I'm more familiar with the energy side of it and how it plays out in
Ah,
my world.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. So yeah, I mean, with Chiron in the sixth house, it has to makes me think of like maybe a wound around because sixth house has to do with like servicing others.
Ooh. Yep. People pleasing. People pleasing
Ah,
was a big part of, yeah. We had a lot of people pleasing healing that
mm,
had to be done over here.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that sixth house represents is health.
Health. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you've experienced anything around health. If not, then, and then the other thing, which is a random thing, and it's
Yeah.
pets as well. But I feel like,
That too.
yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, that's a random thing but
Yeah.
yeah, but the overall thing is, yes, like servicing others. So
Yeah.
yeah, or trying to be service or fulfill others and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, and
Okay.
and that constricting you in a way because it's in Capricorn too. And Capricorn is a sign of like feeling like you have to like it's the manager. It manages everybody. It's a serious sign.
Yeah.
It feels like it can't like it has to I call it the daddy of the astrology because it's ruled by
Yeah.
Saturn. And Saturn is like once again a serious sign that feels like it has this purpose to bring structure to people's lives, to manage
Yeah.
other people, and
Hmm.
it has this duty to fulfill, which is
Yeah.
good at, but
Yeah.
also you're not able to like pour into yourself kind of thing.
Exactly. I was gonna say, I feel like the unhealed aspect of that was feeling like everybody's emotions were my responsibility. Feeling like it didn't matter if I was hurt, it didn't matter if I was upset. I need to take care of these other people. I need to show up for these other people. And that's
Mm-hmm.
more of like the unhealed, or I guess I could say unbalanced version
Mm-hmm.
or side of that sign. For sure. And that's something I had to deal with for a very long time. And I still kind of deal with in
Yes.
terms of my mindset where I'm like, okay, like I care about you, but how, like, what's too far, like what's a balance that's healthy for me, but then I'll set a boundary and I'm like, oh, but I feel bad because they're going through this and I need to help them, and it's
Mm.
still something I'm still working through, for honestly.
Yes,
In
yes,
small
and that's
ways.
perhaps maybe something that you can like bring out in your like on your YouTube channel
Yeah.
because the thing about Chiron is it's not unfortunately that wound is always going to be with us
Mhm.
in some way and
Yeah.
we're going to be constantly healing that, you know?
Okay.
So as long as you're
Yeah.
aware, you can constantly put in the work to heal it
Yeah,
and
exactly.
but also know that you can help others by voicing that or or sharing whatever experiences that make it hard for you to kind of like um
Yeah.
feeling like you have to fill this role of duties to others or helping others or anything that come up as far as like just health too because
Yeah.
your chart even if you haven't experienced anything yet, you're
Mhm.
still young, so you still have a
Yeah.
lot of life to live. And there's been times where when I was younger I would look at my chart and be like, this doesn't resonate, and then as I
Yeah.
experience life it something happens to where it does.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I
Very
would just
interesting. Thank you.
of course, of course. So yeah, that's overall the, sticking to time. That's
Yeah, of
kind of
course.
like the overall theme of everything.
Yeah.
How does that feel for you?
Yeah, no, I think this was super insightful. It was really cool to see this because I'll see my chart, but I don't fully know what everything means. And so learning more has been very exciting for me. I hope I was able to share, like, just a bit of my experience that maybe could help other people, like you
Yes.
said, with their placements or maybe just some little cycles that they were going through as well. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was very insightful. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Did you have any
Truly.
more like questions or do you feel good at this point?
I had a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So the lines that are like going across the houses, those are called aspects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
what are the, and we don't know how long or how much time we have, but like what are those and what do they mean,
Okay. Yeah,
essentially?
see, this is also something I would like. This is more of a deeper dive kind of thing.
Okay,
But
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
just shows you how the planets are communicating with each other.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
this is how
I
you
was
really go
curious.
deep, like more detailed into certain things. For example, like what's an easy one that we can say? Well, you have like right here, your sun
Yeah,
is you see this blue line? Oops.
yeah.
Oh, this is kind of, oh, see, there you go. This kind of shows you, right? Wait, can you see this thing that came up?
No, no, it just looks
Oh,
the same to me.
okay, okay. Well, okay. Well, something came up when I clicked on it, which I didn't
Oh,
even know that. Okay, anyways, the
okay.
point is this blue
Yeah,
line right here that connects to your Pluto, which is in your fifth house,
yeah.
that shows that's the triangle. It means that that's a trine. So your sun
Oh,
is
see,
trining your Pluto.
Okay. So it's mainly how they relate to each other,
Yes, how they
essentially.
relate. And trines means that it's the best relation. It's the best
Oh,
so that means they support each
connection.
other. There's a supportive energy. The
Okay.
squares is the challenge. Those are the things where you like is you
Oh,
have to it's not easy, it may be uncomfortable, but through challenge comes growth. That's the probably
yeah.
things we need to heal and work on and grow through. And then we have the
Okay.
sextile, which is also that's like the easy or the harmonious connection, but
Yeah.
the best is like the trine for sure.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And for
Yeah.
example, the fact that your sun trines your Pluto can mean that you are a powerful person with strong leadership abilities, like we kind of talked
Yeah.
about,
Yeah,
and
definitely
it,
agree.
and you know when to be assertive and when to compromise, and then it also could mean that you are able to apply yourself to the job at hand, whatever that means for you.
Okay.
So there's some
Yeah.
like a real like because Pluto is a sign of transformation and power and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you and then with being in your fifth house of creative energy, I don't know if you would seem if you're very creative
Oh,
or
yes. I love
okay.
like I have paintings right off the camera. I do like
Ah,
clay. I
mhm.
play the
Oh,
guitar and
that's
the
so
bass.
cool. Oh,
Yeah. And
wow.
I love creativity.
Wow. So I hope you're sharing that
Yeah.
on your in your 11th house as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I need to. I love it
Or
so
not on
much.
your 11th house. I'm talking astrology talk now
Yeah.
in your social media.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta share my
Okay.
creative endeavors.
Okay, perfect.
But
Well,
yes.
I'm so happy to have had a chance to talk to you and share a bit of your
Yes.
fire energy. And I will
Yeah.
definitely be
Thank you.
subscribing to your channel and stalking
Thank you.
you. Okay.
I appreciate that. Yes, thank you for having me on. I think this is
Yes.
such a cool concept. I love it so much.
Yeah. And then once
Truly.
again, I'm a very forgetful person. So after we get off here, can you
Yeah.
send me your social media information?
Yeah,
Email that to me,
definitely.
but you could
Yep.
say it again here if you would like so
Okay, yep.
where they could find you.
All right. You can find me on YouTube at Kiah Simone. I think it's Kiah Simone 10, but it's going to be KIAH SIMONE. And then on Instagram, it's going to be Kiah Simone, but with two S's.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Well, thank you so much,
All right.
Kaya, for
Yes, thank
I feel
you.
recharged with your sun just beaming through the screen right
Aw,
now.
thank you.
And
So
I hope
sweet.
you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yep, you too.
And also, lastly, I have to say this:
Yeah,
like, I'm trying to get once again, I'm trying to get better at like promoting. So,
yeah.
I do if you guys are interested or anybody's interested in getting a reading with me, I do 30-minute and I do 60 minutes, and you can find that on healthygirlhealing.com.
Go get a reading.
And also I do Healthy Girl Healing meetups, which is we meet up at 4 times a month, and that's more of the like friends, like you're chilling with your friends who are into spirituality and astrology, and we're
Yeah,
helping each other throughout our journeys as well. Because something that I've found through this whole spirituality thing is like going through your own experiences and being able to be like go to other people and like, is this normal or did you experience this, or helping each other because we all have something to offer.
exactly.
So it's just kind of like not feeling like you're alone on this journey and
Exactly.
having other
Never.
people to bounce ideas and share insights and all that stuff like that. So anyways,
Yes.
and the next Healthy Girl Healing meetup is going to be actually on the full moon, which is on Thursday, I
It's
believe. And
coming
it's
out of
yeah,
this week, right?
yeah, of this week.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's Thursday of this week at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We usually go for like an hour and a half, and we just meet up like this on Zoom, and it's a virtual thing, and we work with the full moon, and we like chat, have fun, play games, all that kind of stuff.
Aw,
So
yeah, that's
anyways, if you
fun.
guys are interested, just comment. Check the
Mhm.
link in the description or go to healthygirlhealing.com. Thank you so much again. And
Yes, thank you.
I
Thank
I
you.
will have best of wishes to all of everything, and I'll be following
Yes.
you.
Thank you. Yep. You have a nice day.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye.